What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Monday team here. You have myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with JD from Line Movers, and Hefe, with a different background today, is here with us as well. Hefe, we're going to start with you. How are you today, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Taking my talents on the road this week, so you'll be seeing this lovely background for the next few shows. But yeah, man. Wow, just a long weekend of a lot of basketball.
Definitely a long weekend of a lot of basketball, a lot to recap, so I'm excited to dive into that. It was great watching the games with you, my friend, on Friday. JD, how are you today, my brother?
Doing good, man. Yes, y'all actually said that perfectly. This weekend was long. It was fun. But honestly, I'm like glad to have a little break here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot for us to go over and definitely a lot to definitely talk about. So
Absolutely, bro. Before we do, I know you had an exciting Friday with our guy, Nick Castrucci, and I know we have a little video to play here, so let's get that up here to recap how JD had a great weekend. Let's throw the video up here. And I think that was awesome. So you got to tell us, how was meeting Nick? The seats looked fantastic. Tell us about your experience.
yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that are in this space. It's hard to find, I guess I'd say actually good guys. And like Nick is definitely one of those guys. So it was definitely cool to actually meet him and actually be able to actually hang out. Yeah, the games, they were a ton of fun. Duke, I have to say, they are looking very good. Very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, man, like it was just a great day. So
Love to see that. Love to see it. Heard you guys had a great time. And the seats looked fantastic. So I'm glad all of you were able to go out there and enjoy. Fellas, I do want to talk about this. What do we think about the opening 2 rounds of March Madness? Hefe, I'm going to start with you. A lot of rumblings around the internet today and a lot through yesterday where people are all debating, did NIL ruin March Madness? Because I'm going to be honest. I mean, it was a lot of fun watching the games this weekend, but there weren't really a lot of games. There was a lot of games played, but not a lot of close games, a lot of blowouts. No Cinderellas have made it. All the teams in the Sweet 16s are from the major conferences for the first time ever. There's no real Cinderella that's even made the Sweet 16. So, Hefe, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at my phone right now because I'm trying to remind myself, especially the first round games. There were absolutely, I'm trying to see, were there any really good game? There was no double digit single seed game. I'm not counting 9-10s because that doesn't count to me. But like anything higher than like a 12, right? I don't even think there was a game where it was even between 3 points. Only UC San Diego I see here kept it close. McNeese obviously won their opening round. Second day, no, nothing. I'm not going to sit here, Colorado State, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that NIL ruined it. I'm going to tell you that it was just circumstantial this year. Hey, if Derek Queen doesn't make a buzzer beater, none of this is we're not even having this conversation because number 12 Colorado State is in the Sweet 16 and they're your token Cinderella. I can't remember off the top of my head how many times multiple double-digit seeds make it normally, but that's really what it is. We were a second away from having a 12 seed in there, and I don't even think we'd be having this combo. I actually really like the Sweet 16 how it's set up. I understand you do have only one double-digit seed, and it's still a Power 5 team in Arkansas, but I think this makes for great matchups. I really do. I think you have still immense talent in the tournament. At the end of the day, just like would you rather have it's always fun to see an underdog win round 1, maybe even round 2. When it gets down to it, you want the best teams playing the best teams. And that's pretty much what we have in here, besides St. John's, in my opinion, who's my biggest disappointment coming out of the first weekend. What'd you think, Alpha?
I mean, I think you put it perfectly. I think there's no other way to put it that St. John's was clearly the big disappointment of the tournament so far. They're the only 2 seed that has not gotten through. But I have to say, from personal experience, it hasn't been an exciting, fun first 2 rounds of the tournament. Usually we have more buzzer beaters, more close games. The majority of these games were over by halftime. You knew who was winning this game by halftime, and odds were it was a favorite that was going to cover the big spread. It's just how it went. Favorites are covering, dogs are dying, and it's been very predictable. So for me, it's been a little disappointing. I'm not sure if you could blame NIL, but there's a lot of things that pointing to that you really have to blame NIL. No Cinderellas. All the smaller school guys are going to these bigger schools. I mean, you take a look. Yale last year was supposed to be a Cinderella. Their best player, Danny Wolf, went to Michigan. Now he's helping Michigan move on and further dance in the tournament. You take a look at guys like Janelle Davis, all the FAU guys that left there and went to other schools as well, and they're carrying their team. So I do think it takes a part of it. I think we're going to need to see another couple of years till we can definitively say that that's what's going on. But I will admit it was a disappointing first 2 rounds for me compared to previous years. And I still enjoyed it. I still had a great time watching all the games. But there just wasn't those moments. There wasn't any magic. There wasn't any big-time things you could take away. When you look back at the weekend, there aren't any really many moments you could think back of that in 3 months from now you're going to remember. Maybe the Derek Queen shot. Did he travel? Did he not travel? Game winner. Amazing game. That's really the only one that sticks out to me. JD, what do you think?
Yeah, man. As far as from betting on the games, this was one of the only times I can remember where, yeah, like you're saying, within not even the first half, within the first 10 minutes of a lot of these games, they were already done. I can't remember so many games where one team came out just so hot and then the other teams just could not make anything. And we saw that time after time. It was one of those things where, like I said, if you're betting on the game, you were either loving it right from the start or either you were ready to turn off.
100%.
And that's kind of how I feel like a lot of those games went. But actually, like Hefe said, though, that all adds up to a great round of 16 and actually on now, though. So I think as far as games start on Thursday, right? Yes. As far as this Thursday on, I mean, I think it's going to be great.
Man, I was just looking at it like just right now while Alpha was talking. We have a chance to see 8 literally great games.
Yeah,
and I don't know how many times in a Sweet 16 you could say that.
That is
there
true.
might be a stinker in there or two, but some of these matchups are straight up what you want to see at this time of the year.
What teams are you guys most looking forward to seeing in the round of 16, the Sweet 16, I should say, because there's potential. I mean, if these Sweet 16s, Final Fours, championship weekend, if these games are fantastic, nobody's going to be talking about maybe a little bit of a boring first couple rounds. They'll be talking about the amazing Sweet 16, the great Elite Eight, stuff like that. What matchup in the Sweet 16 do you guys think is going to provide that?
I'll put it to you like this. Out of the 8 games, I have 3 games circled that I absolutely think can break a bracket, so to speak.
What are those
brackets that are broken? But you know what? BYU, Alabama. I give Alabama an absolute shot. They have the offense. They played 2 fantastic games, and we've seen Bama just flat out not play well in especially late game scenarios.
Yep.
Next one, I have to put this in is Arkansas.
So BYU, wait, you think BYU has a chance to take out Alabama? Because you said I think Alabama has a chance to win.
I think that game has the chance to be a great game.
Got it.
Not going to lie to you. I'm not giving out any picks today. I haven't looked into it. I'm just looking at straight up the matchups. I think the styles match up. And I think the fact that Bama has, throughout the season at times, had late game scenarios that they just have not done well in. BYU seems very ready for any situation, and they have great shooters. Next is Arkansas, Texas Tech. How can you not put Arkansas right now in there? I think Texas Tech has won their games with more defense than offense, and I think Arkansas has done the opposite, more offense than defense, and yet they're defending extremely well. And they're coached amazingly right now. Good for Coach Cal right now. Wow. And then the last game that I'm looking at is Michigan. Yeah. Last game I'm looking at is Michigan-Auburn. I don't know why Michigan keeps winning. For some reason.
It shouldn't be.
For some reason, I just feel like there could be the ones to take down Auburn for no reason. There's no reason I should feel like this. But they just, you know, like when it's just like they're hot. Fuck it. That like Their
That's what it
players that
is.
haven't been playing well in the regular season are all of a sudden playing amazing, and they have the size. That's what matters against Auburn. They have the size to make that game
Yes.
competitive.
Yeah,
How
Auburn
about
needs to
you?
put it together because they've played one complete game. However, they've played 2 full games. They've played 1 complete half in each game. That equals 1 complete game total for this team, but they have to put it together for 2 full halves when they take on a team like Michigan. And I feel the same way as you about Michigan. This is a team I thought was probably going to lose to UCSD. They survived that game, and they look fantastic in their second round. So we will see if the hot hand can keep rolling here. JD, I'm sure you have a little Duke look ahead for us. So what game are you most looking forward to in the Sweet 16, and which games do you think potentially have the biggest potential for a great game?
Yeah, man. As far as that Duke game, I know that these two teams that actually they played at the start of the season. I think Duke won by like 8 or 9. But that was a pretty close game for actually most of that game.
Yeah.
Though these teams are playing much actually different now. And I'll just go ahead and say it. If actually Duke is actually hitting threes the way they have been, like actually like nobody's going to stop them.
I agree with you. They look great.
And it's just as simple as actually that. But I do think that game is actually lined well. As far as actually BYU, I need to still take some time with this game, but just off the bat, I am really liking them guys. I do not see
I'm
how
telling you, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm right with you.
Yeah, I just don't see how Bama slows them down.
Right.
And so I'm probably going to be on BYU in some type of way. I'm not sure how exactly yet. But that definitely is a national underdog I'm going to be on. The Kentucky game, you can get 4 or actually 4.5 points with them currently. Not really understanding that one.
Kentucky is a team that Kobe Bryant looks great.
Yeah.
Great.
So there's definitely another dog that I'm definitely going to be looking at. Like I said, I need to look at it more, but just the line just off the bat, that just doesn't seem right. The Michigan and actually like Auburn game, like I understand actually what you guys are saying, and I'm going to be off of that game. I'm not going to play anything, just because by the numbers and everything, Auburn should like crush them here.
I agree,
but like y'all said,
there's no reason.
They may just be that team though. So like I can definitely already tell you I am going to be off of that one. I think Houston probably rolls.
They should. They really should.
They look great in the first 2 rounds. They looked fantastic, but yet again, they didn't really play anyone.
And then that.
Oh, hold on! Whoa! No respect for Gonzaga.
No. They had a great first game. They were not the Gonzaga team we're used to. I know they were ranked pretty well by Ken Palm, but they were outclassed in that game, and it was pretty apparent from the beginning.
As far as the Florida game, I think that's going to be a very interesting one. Because I could see that either being extremely close or either Florida blowing them out. But I can definitely see a path to where that's a very good game.
Just going to come down to the guards in Florida.
Yeah, and the big men for Maryland. Will they be able to keep it together? And they're young. Well, they're half young, half old. They have Angel Reese's brother, Julian Reese, who feels like he's been there for 10 years. He's a phenomenal rebounder. He's got a nice lefty hook in the lane. He plays very similarly to Angel Reese, except he has a higher field goal percentage than she does. And then they have Derek Queen, the star freshman of the Big Ten. He beat out 2 of the top 5 picks in the NBA draft to be named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. We all saw why yesterday. They put the ball in the hands of a center who was able to, off the dribble, go to his left hand, fade away, bank it in, and get it done. So I'm looking forward to that matchup because it's a completely different style between those two teams that we will see. So I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup as well.
One more good game out of Derek Queen. If he has a 25-plus point game, put the team on his back against the Gators, man's a top 5 pick in the draft.
I think he could be. Who does he remind you of in the NBA? Who does he play like? I have a name, but I'm going to get laughed at for it.
He's so kind of plays like I want to say Julius Randle, but like just he's bigger.
Yeah. So what center do you think he kind of plays like? I don't want to say because I'm going to look like an
Cat. Oh.
East Coast, a guy who's always hurt, who's never in games. Joel. I know I'm going to get killed for that take, but he could take it off the dribble. He could find a way to score in any facet. And I feel that those type of players, those type of skill sets, you don't see that from a big man. How often do you see a center who's able to drive like that
I'll tell you one thing.
And shoot from his left hand?
What's the Gators center? God, I know his name.
They have a few.
Condon or something like that.
Condon?
Yeah, Condon. It's going to be hard for him to stay with Queen, man.
And Reese. They did a two-center lineup.
And Reese. But it's going to come down to I'm forgetting the other guard's name, but Rice and I want to say Gillespie. I might be wrong on that one for the Terps. If they can keep up with Florida guards, which are, in my opinion, some of the best guards in the nation. You got Clayton, you got Martin, who, if you don't remember, was one of the top scorers on FAU. They have guards galore. And if they're playing, if Walter Clayton is playing basketball like he did in the second half against UConn, just give him the Final Four ticket, because he changes the entire makeup of the team.
Or is he going to play like he did in the first half against UConn, which is a completely different story?
Yep. And then it's Maryland's opportunity to Maryland has to play a perfect game to win. Florida has to shoot like they normally shoot. Not a perfect game, but they cannot have a bad game.
Yeah, I would agree completely, gentlemen. I would agree completely. Any other topics we want to talk about March Madness before we dive into today's NBA slate? JD, anything else you want to touch on? You know what? I'll come up with one more topic we're going to do. This is, you don't have to be held to this. This is not from a gambling perspective. Who's winning it all? FA, we're going to start with you. I'll let JD marinate on that. Who's winning it all?
Right now, based on, I'm looking at the path, I absolutely think it's Duke. They just cannot shoot themselves in the foot. My worry for Duke is they don't have that senior point guard who, if the game's close, can facilitate and put people in the right place. I love Proctor, don't get me wrong. But what Duke would do to still have Jeremy Roach on their team, man.
No, I could agree more. Right. I could agree more. JD, who's your selection?
Yeah, and that was so weird to watch Roach play actually like right before we saw Duke play.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
it was.
We were sitting there watching it, and it was like, damn.
And you know what was really weird about that, JD? I don't think Roach played the final 10 minutes of the game. I think he was relegated to the bench for other players. It was weird seeing a guy like Roach not on there in the crunch time minutes and then watch.
In the first game, Yeah.
But kind of like Hefe said, with the path that these teams currently have to go through, like I just have to say Duke.
Both of you are on Duke?
Yeah.
Interesting.
How about you?
The Florida Gators. I like their path now that St. John's is gone, and I think they can outscore any team they play. So I think a big test for them is Maryland. I'm not sure they can get by Maryland, but if they get by Maryland, because Maryland, as we went over, is a very stylistic nightmare matchup to me for them. But if they get by that game, I could see Florida running with it and winning every game going out by 10-plus points. They just have that type of offense where they could have a terrible first half like we saw the other day. They really couldn't get the ball in the basket. And in the second half, they didn't miss a shot. They just hit every single thing they did. Their big men could shoot. Their guards could shoot. Their forwards could shoot. Everyone on their team can shoot. If they could put together a little bit of defense, they're going to be very difficult to beat as this tournament goes on.
Let me ask you before we move on. Alf, I got a question for you. Sure. How do you feel about Sparty? They got in my opinion, a favorable matchup in Sweet 16, an Ole Miss team that even though they're ranked 6th, I don't think many people had them in the Sweet 16.
No.
Great. They looked freaking unbelievable yesterday. That game was never under 15. That game was never under 15 points, I believe. In the second half, at least.
In the second half, they pulled it together.
Yeah. In the first, they went into the first half up 10. They were totally fine. They played a complete game.
Well, yes, against New Mexico,
they played well.
Sparty was down 2 at halftime yesterday, so they made it. They had a very lousy.
No. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss. Yeah, I mean they've been fantastic. To me, they're one of the surprises of the tournament. I had them losing in the first round. To be completely transparent.
Yeah, me too. So now Ole Miss has Sparty, and Sparty has played meh. Like, they're here, but I wasn't impressed with them in the first round, to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed with them last round. They just figured out a way to win. Now, there's something to be said about that, but how do you feel about the Spartans? They're in the South. So if they have to play an Ole Miss team that's scrappy and feeling good about themselves, and then they would play the winner of Michigan Auburn.
Yeah. So I think they definitely have a chance. Sparty is my pre-tournament winner. So I did take them to win the whole thing for my brackets and all that. Was very, what's the right word? Discouraged watching Jace Richardson play basketball yesterday. He didn't score a basket till the final minute of the game. He needs to be the guy who carries this offense, and this team struggles when he's not able to hit his open shots. We saw that in the first half. He ended up getting benched for a majority of the game. They went with other veteran guards like Akins to lead the offense, and they did a good job without him in there, but I think they're going to need Jace Richardson going forward. He cannot have another game where he's going into the final minute of the ball game with 0 points. He couldn't even get to the line. He got to the line with 1 minute left, then he hit a floater to get it in one with 30 seconds left, but the game was decided by then. So if he is able to get it going and this team's able to keep it rolling, I do still like them to make a run, but I mean, if you take a look right now at FanDuel, I'm pulling up all the odds for national championship. Duke is by far the favorite at plus 220. Then we have Florida at plus 400. Then we have Houston, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas Tech. And then we get Sparty at plus 2,500. So odds makers were not impressed with what they saw in the first 2 rounds. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't either, but they still have time to get it rolling. We need to see the freshman Jace Richardson play a lot better if I think this team has a realistic chance to take it home. What do you think, Hefe? How'd you think of Sparty in the first 2 rounds?
There's one thing to be said for not playing good basketball, especially offensively speaking, and yet getting out of there with 2 wins. A win is win is win. It doesn't matter. But I think the best thing that's happening to Michigan State right now is they have about 4 days here to reset, rest, and relock in. Because Ole Miss and Arkansas are the 2 teams going in there that are just like, we ain't got shit to lose. Nobody thought we'd be here anyway, so F it. And that is scary in a 1-game elimination scenario. Because they're just going to, at one point, yeah.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, I'm like, we're looking at these numbers here, man, and as far as state, I mean, from actually how y'all talked about it, as far as like how they played and how they were able just to get through there, this like number, guys, this is a buy low spot.
I think so too.
This is an actual like Ole Miss team at this number. I think they are overrated here.
I do too.
Very much so.
Yeah, the number is screaming. It's screaming, please back me, please. You just saw us beat Iowa State, so please back us again. And then Sparty comes out and wrecks them by 10. You're so right.
Also,
the number
everyone
is
knew Iowa.
So weird.
Everyone knew Iowa State was frauds, right? As well. We all knew that before I let JD continue. Okay, good. JD.
Yeah. But no, as far as the Michigan State side, that's one I might be going ahead and betting.
There we go. Well, it'll be a family play there because, JD, you already know I'm going to be on Michigan State, and that's spotted at minus 2.5. I think they're going to absolutely steam them there. David has Florida beating Duke, so that's an interesting take there. One more thing we're going to talk about because I forgot and I did want to bring it up. How would you feel? Let's paint a scenario. Your team just made the Sweet 16. You guys are rolling. You're a 5 seed. You just won your conference championship. And one of your reserve players enters the transfer portal. Oh, and that reserve player is also the son of Hall of Fame Scottie Pippen. So Scottie Pippen's son, who plays for Michigan, has just entered the transfer portal this morning with his team still being in the Sweet 16. How do you feel about that, Hefe? What would you think if you were a teammate of Pippen's?
I wouldn't be angry at the player, the person, for doing what's best for them, putting themselves in a better position next year and getting that process started as quickly as possible. I would be angry at the system because just like in college football, where the transfer portal starts at the end of regular season and not until the end of bowl games, this situation where the transfer portal starts at the beginning of the tournament, it messes up multiple things. I think it's completely ludicrous that coaches can leave schools before the season is over, sign with another school, and still coach their teams to wins. It's crazy. Or leave, sign with another, like, perfect example is Colorado State's head coach. I'm forgetting his last name, but I know his first name is Nico. Mm-hmm. They just lost last night. And already he is the head coach at, where am I blanking? Where does he go? Minnesota. Right?
Yep.
I mean, take a moment. Like take a day. The job. I'm pretty sure the job would still be there on Wednesday. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I think he agreed to this deal weeks ago. I think he took the opposite of the McNeese head coach. He announced it to everyone when the deal was done. I'm pretty sure that the Colorado State guy has had this deal for weeks. So at least he waited until they were done. I like that they waited until the season was over, though, to not distract the team. So I agree with you. I think the system is flawed. But if I was a teammate of Pippen's, I definitely would feel some type of way. Gonna be honest. JD, what do you think?
Yeah. You all know how I feel about all these things. I absolutely hate it all.
Dumbest thing.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it all. I mean, your team's about to lose on actually Friday night. I mean, just fucking wait until then. I mean,
there we go. There we go.
Literally.
Come on.
I feel the same.
I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet that was kind of perfect. It was like, this is the definition of if NFL free agency started on Wild Card Weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it's been like that for a couple of years now.
Do you know how crazy that would be?
Yeah, and we talk about it on this show all the time. We're all pretty lock in step on this one where we think they need to move till after the season's over completely to start the portal, but we are where we are, and I would feel some type of way if one of the guys in the Sweet 16 did leave. You could do it in private, Pippen. You don't got to announce it yet. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for a recap of March Madness. We were supposed to only do 10 minutes on that, so I do apologize. We did a full 30, so we still have to move on and get into today's NBA action. So, boys, we're going to dive right into the first NBA game that we're covering today, which is going to be the Timberwolves taking on the Pacers, or as JD likes to call them, the Timber Cubs. Had me cracking up today, JD. The Timberwolves coming in 41-31 on the year. They are 20-15 on the road. Taking on a Pacers team that's 41-29 on the year. They are also 23-9 at home. F.A., we're going to start with you. But before we do, injury news on this game. Ant-Man is a true game-time decision, it's telling me right now, and Benedict Mathurin is also a true game-time decision for the Pacers. What do you like in this one?
This is a very weird line. It's obviously indicating that Anthony Edwards is not going to play.
Yes, that's what's enough for
because
sure.
Why would the Pacers be this close? Last time these two teams played, they played in a hell of a freaking game. Obi Toppin had one of the best games of his life. I think he had two back-to-back three-pointers, one of which that put him up for good with like a second or so left, and that was in Minnesota. This one's in Indy, where the Pacers are significantly better at home than they are on the road. Pacers have won a few games in a row here. I believe they've won 4 games in a row, including the Minnesota, Dallas, back-to-back wins against the Nets. So, I mean, what is that? But no Anthony Edwards. I'm leaning the Pacers here, guys. It's not a best bet because I think it could be a little bit of a trap line, but I do lean the Pacers money line minus 130 odds when I see them at right now.
Yeah, I'm on the exact same wavelength you are. I do lean the Pacers on the money line minus 130 as well. I do think the line tells you everything you need to know. I do think Anthony Edwards is not going to be able to play. And you take a look at this Pacers team. They've been fantastic as of late. They are winners of 4 consecutive games. Timberwolves on the other side, they just split a series with the Pelicans. They also lost to the Pacers 3 games ago, which Hefe did bring up perfectly. Pacers at home are a different beast. They are 23-9 at home this year. They're one of the better home teams in the association. And we're going to be riding that train. Siakam's been red hot. He's averaging 21 points per game this year, but over the last couple of weeks, he really has stepped his game up. So let me see the Pacers have a big performance here. I'm also taking them on the money line, minus 130. JD, what you got?
Yeah, I'm a little on the other side here because as far as the Timberwolves, I am going to be on them. I am going to go ahead and play the money line now. You can actually get that at plus 115. I think that there's definitely a chance actually Ant does play here. And if he does play, then this line is definitely going to move.
Oh, yeah.
So there's why I am locking this in now. But this Pacers team, guys, I mean, yeah, you said they've actually won 4 straight games. But like you said, it's been Nets, Mavs, and then who did they beat was actually this very team.
Yep.
So this team is going to want to bounce back and actually beat the Pacers here. That was on the 17th, so that was just last week.
Yep.
So yeah. And the Pacers, guys, they just haven't been covering games. What are they in their last 10? It's got to be something bad. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
1, 8-1.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the Pacers team's just not been covering spreads. And I actually realize in this type of spread range, you're more or less just asking them to just win.
Yeah.
But still, actually, there's actually a comment Joe just said right here. The T-Wolves need wins. So that's why I actually think tonight that actually Ant does have a chance to actually play here. And actually, even if they don't play, I think that they still have a shot. So yeah, go ahead and actually lock me in for that Timberwolves money line at plus 115.
Well, then when we are back on here, we have something fun to talk about. You have Hefe and myself on the Pacers. JD is on the T-Wolves. Hefe, I have to put this comment up because I can't stop laughing from David's comments today. David, you're hilarious. Hefe is finally out of the closet. We are very happy. Mazel tov, Hefe. All right, boys. We're going to be moving on to the second game we're breaking down today, which is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Phoenix Suns. The Bucks are coming in 40-30 on the year. They are 16-18 on the road, though. They are a below 500 road team. Taking on a Suns team that is 34-37, who are 22-13 at home. So the Suns are almost 10 games over 500 at home, which is crazy because on the year, they're 3 games under 500. So that should tell you everything you need to know about this Suns team on the road. Big story in this game, the injury list, in my opinion. And let's go over it. Gary Trent Jr., game time decision. Giannis Antetokounmpo, game time decision, but he is looking more probable from what I'm reading. Damian Lillard has been rolled out. Bobby Portis is still out, and Jericho Sims is out, all from Milwaukee. On the other side, game time decisions, the 2 big men for the Suns, Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards, and already ruled out is Bradley Beal. Hefe, we're going to start with you. Bucks, winners of 2 consecutive games, have been looking good. On the other side, the Suns have finally started getting it rolling. They're winners of 4 of their last 5. What do you got in this one?
I just wanted to look real quick when I just saw it. So Suns coming off probably their biggest win of the year, most impressive win, a W at home against the Cavs, which is never easy. They actually won that game by 11. KD probably had his best game of the year. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he scored 42. I can't imagine he scored more than that in any other game this year. And I like at this time of the year teams that are building continuity. The Suns, believe it or not, are in 10th place in the West right now, battling for a play-in spot. Do they want it? Do they not? Who knows? But I think they have the competitive players and the talent of their team to not only, make the play-in, but win the play-in and actually make the playoffs. This is one of those big games. You're feeling good. You're 4-1 in your last 5. You won 3 games in a row. You're coming off your best win. Cavs, I think you take that right into Milwaukee, who's down one of their best players in Dame Lillard. You got D-Book, you got KD playing great basketball right now. Bradley Beal doesn't exist, so that doesn't even matter. Give me the Suns, man. I'm going to take the Suns on the money line. Minus 145 is what I see.
JD, what you got?
Yeah, guys, this Suns team pisses me off.
I think they piss everyone off, every gambler.
Right after the All-Star break, like I was on them in multiple spots. Like, okay, y'all like need wins. You got to start winning. These are perfect, like get right spots. And they lost them all. Just everybody on the court. There was a lot of drama and I actually, like you said, like, do they like really even want to win? And it didn't seem like they like did. Well, now they finally seem like they do. And they're actually playing they're like playing actually good ball here. I definitely like the Suns here. I'm going to look at this a little bit different way though. You can get their team total at 112.5. I think that's way too low here. The Bucks, as far as their like defense goes, they held the Lakers to 89 points, but who was playing for them actually that like night? Bronny was the leading scorer.
Yep.
That should tell you everything. That game does not just throw that shit out.
Right out the window. I'm with that 1,000%.
Yeah. To me, this actually team total is just too low. I actually like the Suns pretty much every way here. Money line, spread, the team total over. I actually like it all, but I do see the biggest edge on the team total over though.
Damn, so JD and Hefe love the Suns, where Alpha is here to tell you that I am on the Bucks with the points plus the 3.5. I think the Bucks are able to keep this game close. I do think they compete in this one, and I just cannot back the Suns team right now. I know they've played a couple decent performances. They beat the Cavs, which is a shocker. They beat the Bulls, which everyone can pretty much beat up on the Bulls. They beat the Raptors, who... Man, the Raptors are a disaster. But anyway, back to this game. I do think the Bucks will be able to compete. I'm not sure if they win, but they will be able to keep it close. I actually like this team when it's just Giannis in the lineup without Damian Lillard. The ball seems to move a little bit more when it's just him on the court. And I do think we'll see a big performance from the Bucks here. So give me the Bucks with the points plus the 3.5. So let's see a high-scoring game so JD can cash his team total. Let's see the Bucks lose by 1 point so Hefe can cash his money line, and I will get my Bucks spread. I think we'll have a family sweep there. So let's see that happening.
I think it would be wild Yeah,
That'd
like
be wild.
if we actually all three cash,
That would
in
be
this
wild.
game,
We have a chance too. I definitely could see it
we do
happening.
have a chance.
So more to come on that. Let's see if we can right the ship with that one. But boys, we have one more game we're going to be breaking down today. Before we get into this one, I did just get some news about a couple injury reports for a different game we're not going to be talking today, but it has to be addressed. It just has to be addressed. Anthony Davis has been upgraded to questionable from doubtful, so we may see Anthony Davis return to the court this evening against the Brooklyn Nets. We're not talking about that game, but AD could be back, which NBA news, we're always going to bring you whatever information that we have. Back to this game, boys. Celtics taking on the Kings. Celtics coming in 52-19 on the year. They're 28-7 on the road, taking on a Kings team that is 35-35 on the year and 18-17 at home. Over to the injury report. What if I told you every single person playing in this game is a game time decision? Not everyone, but basically for the Celtics, game time decisions. Horford, Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, Xavier Tillman, Jaylen Brown. All 5 game time decisions. On the other side, Devin Carter, Malik Monk, and Domantas Sabonis. All 3 game time decisions. So a lot of news we're going to be waiting on in this game because that is 8 players that are game time decisions. Most of those are either starters or very large impact players for their teams. Hefe, over to you. What do you like in this one?
This is hate taking the back-to-back because the injury list is so long for the Celtics. That's why they're on a back-to-back. Man, the Celtics have been playing so good lately. 4 straight road wins, 9-1 their last set overall. The back-to-back stats aren't horrible. They're middle of the pack. It's a tough line right now, hovering at 3.5. It was 4.5 before, so the fact that it already went down shows me that maybe most of these game time decisions are going to be not so probable. Last time these 2 teams played, though, Kings took care of business against Boston in Boston. I got to think that Boston's going to have a little chip on their shoulder because of that and the fact that they also have been playing so well recently. So give me the Celtics here. It's currently at -3.5. I think I even submitted it earlier at -4. I'm fine with either of those 2 numbers. Anything under 5, I'm fine with.
Yep, it's moved down to 3.5, and I'm on the exact same wavelength you are. I'm not going to take up too much time here. The Celtics are the deepest team in the NBA. Their bench is better than a lot of teams' starting lineups, and even if they don't have a couple of these guys in there tonight, they will be fine against a Kings team that they should have no problem putting away. So give me the Celtics minus the 3.5. It's definitely one of my favorite bets on tonight's NBA board. JD, final recap of the day, brother. Close us out. What you got?
Yeah, for this game, I really don't have a lot. I will say, as far as this total, it's actually being bet down. It's actually down to 222 now. If anything, I would be starting to actually look at the over now, or either a Celtics team total over. I was looking at some stuff when I had a minute earlier. Let's see if I can pull back up. But it was Kings opponents were Kings as a home dog. The favorite, they were, I believe, 6-0 to their team total over. So that would mean the Celtics, as far as their team total over here, would actually be a good spot. But this is one of those where you definitely want to wait to see who's going to be in the lineup because that total may go down more, though. So for me, this is definitely a wait and see. But it would definitely be an over in actually some type of way, though.
I like it. I like it. All right, boys. Well, there's still a few things we're going to have to take care of on the show. Well, one major thing we're going to do on the show. You boys ready to dive into our best bets for the people?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, gentlemen. Best bets for today, Monday, March 24th. We're going to kick it off with fresh new background, out of the closet, Hefe picks. Hefe, what you got?
I got 2 for the people today. I'll start off with the one that we spoke about, Celtics. I think the best bet graphic is going to show that I have it at 4, 4.5. Currently, it's at 3.5. I'm fine with all those numbers. Alpha explained that it's the deeper team. They have a great bench, one of the best, if not the best in the NBA. So even if they're depleted, something they have enough what it takes. And then my other one is the Nuggets money line. Minus 150 is the money line. They're facing off the Bulls tonight, and the Bulls are on the 6th game of a 6-game Western Conference road trip. And that is one of my favorite spots to fade a team when they've been on the opposite coast for a long time, and they just want to get on that plane and go on home. Jokic is a game time decision. I'm fine with taking their money line either way, no Jokic or with Jokic. So Nuggets money line.
There we go. I'll go into my best bets next. Excuse me. Celtics, same thing as Hefe. -3.5, -4, -4.5. Doesn't matter. I like them up to 5 tonight. Whatever line you get it at, I think it will be good there. Second and final best bet is going to be the Bucks plus the 3. JD, close us out, brother. What you got?
Give me the Timberwolves. You match them on the money line at +115. And then give me the second one. Let's go with the Suns team total over. Get you the most updated number. Over 112.5 at -115 at DraftKings currently.
Absolutely love it, gentlemen. Well, everybody, get your phones out. Take your screenshots. You can see the best bets on the board there. We went over a few of the lines that have moved, but you can see everything right there. JD even put the Timber Cubs, baby. We absolutely love that. So get your screenshots. I'll leave it up for another couple minutes. And boys, it's going to be a little depressing tonight. It really is. We're back into the NBA. I know I've said I need a day off from college basketball after that brutal, grueling 4-day stretch, but I will take that brutal, grueling 4-day stretch pretty much every week of the year because I still love all the action. So it will still be a little depressing tonight without any college ball, but we have NBA to carry us over. And JD, we've almost made it, brother. This show was built on baseball. We are 3 days away from opening day. I am excited. Yeah. We're almost there. We're almost there. 3 days away. Right now, first pitch, Yankees-Mets final spring training game just kicked off. So after the show, I'm probably going to dive into that to learn up about these two teams because they will be exciting. But fellas, it's been a fantastic show. We will be back. When are we going to be back, JD? We're still working on the particulars. It's going to be Thursday looking like because we want to give you guys as many picks as possible for the opening day of MLB as well as the college basketball Sweet 16.
Nuts. MLB opening day and the Sweet 16. Wow.
Yeah. So make sure you guys are prepared. We will be back Thursday, same time, same place. Hefe, any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here today?
Take advantage of these few days of, not a lot of things going on because before you know it, Thursday is going to hit and you're going to have MLB every single day. You're going to have the finishing touches of the NCAA tournament. You're going to have NBA playoffs starting really soon after that, hockey playoffs soon after that. It's okay to just take a night or two off, you know what I mean? But not tonight because we're going to cash both the Nuggets and the Celtics.
There we go. JD, close us out, brother. We all know what you're going to say, so I'm not even going to hype it up. Let them know.
Yeah, baseball season. I mean, opening day is so close. We are right here. And I am so excited for actually that. I've already been digging into opening day games.
Me too.
Waiting a lot of books just have the actual money lines out. I'm waiting for a few more books to drop actually run lines, and then actually totals should be dropping. And as soon as they do, I'm going to go ahead and start sending out plays.
There we go, baby.
So definitely go ahead and get in on actually that. But yeah, guys. Tonight, like you said, it's a little bit of a more chill night. But for sure. We still have plenty of plays to cash, though. So let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. We'll see you all on Thursday. Thanks for coming to the show. We appreciate every single one of you. Peace.